Welcome to the Exposer. So as you guys know, Mariam Escobar has put out another video yesterday, basically responding to everything. In the video I'm about to show you, she starts off by basically giving a little insight to her lifestyle, and towards the end of the video, the real Mariam comes out, the aggressive manipulator. So I'll let you guys watch this Periscope and give you guys my feedback at the end of the video.
The last 7 days has been literally out of this world, like completely out of this world. You know, like for a while, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was saying to you guys, I'm not doing Periscope anymore. It doesn't even make sense, and so on and so on and so on. But I kid you not, like literally yesterday, yesterday was a great, or yesterday or this week has been a great reminder as to why I should stay on this platform, because people who don't traditionally come on this platform are coming on this platform just to hear what we've got to say, which is pretty cool. So thank you anyway for taking the time to join. I think when I first started doing these scopes, it was just me and maybe 10 friends. I think probably even 5 people would watch me. I'm not even kidding. It was me, P. Crystal, literally it was just me and 5 friends, another girl called Rebecca, and a few others, and then it developed to like 50 people. And I think at one point I had like 70 people watching me, and I thought I was really cool. I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like I've got this channel now and whatever. But I was consistent, and one thing I was always consistent at doing was being transparent. So people would come on the scope because they knew that on a Tuesday morning there would be absolutely no filter, and for the life of me that would never change. I don't even like your name. Let me just block you because I don't like your name. Down to what I do every day with mobilization and financing. I literally share everything on here. Relationships, my relationship crashes, and everything. I share everything on here with you guys. There was a year that I cried on, I think I cried every day for about 6 months. Just rubbish, fear stuff. I don't want to come online. What are people going to think of me? Blah, blah. But then I quickly got over myself because I realized the worst of my life is online. Like, hear me today. This isn't me being proud or anything weird like that or whatever. Yeah, this is just me being very honest with you guys today. My whole entire life is on the internet. Probably way more than any YouTuber. My whole entire life is online. I'm never sad. I don't think anybody can know a moment where Mariam was down. I'm not sad. I've never been sad in my life. I mean, on my way to jail, pregnant, I wasn't sad because I knew that I'd made a choice to get me there. I'm not sad. I don't know how to be upset or whatever. I understand more than I feel. Yeah, I understand why things happen more than I feel. So if something is happening, I'm understanding it more than I'm feeling towards that thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm understanding, hey, you're currently on your way to jail because you made a mistake. You're currently receiving this level of conflict because you're rising. One day, before a paper, I'm gonna give you guys some backstory for you guys to really understand me, because I don't think some of you guys really know me. I think you know what you hear about me, but you don't know me at all. I am a dynamite. Like, I'm not like a toy. I'm not like, oh, like, you know, like this girl. No, I'm not anybody's mate. Like, you know, and I think we also forget my age as well. I'm not like a teenager, you know, like I'm not a teenager. So at this time now, I've just come out of the whole prison experience. I'm getting my life together, and I'm trying to be a good person, yeah? And I'm gonna define what good person is. I'm trying to be a good person in the eyes of man. Like, okay, I've cleaned up my act now, I'm better now, I'm a good person now. You know, guys, I used to do this, and I don't do it anymore. Like, please believe me, please believe me. No. One of the 3 or 4 services during Water in the Spirit, My phone was overheated. It was ringing like crazy. I'm thinking, what kind of emergency numbers I didn't recognize were calling me? I went outside, I took a call, and it was one of the women that I just mentioned. They said, Mariam, we've received a phone call from a newspaper today, and they're writing a story about you, and they want us to comment. What do you want us to do? How true are these things? At this point in time, she was saying so many things that they were saying, and the reality of it, most of the things you hear about me are true. You can take that for YouTube as well. And was one of these women, and she said, Mariam, I need you to tell me the truth. And I started sharing things with her and stuff like that, believing she was a confidant and sharing, like, this is what's going on with me, da, da, da. And she said, this is what I want you to do, and blah, blah. And I called another lady who actually is a very dear friend. She's incredibly powerful. Michelle Van Buren. She's basically one of the women behind the Shard, Nine Elms, Victoria, the whole of transformation behind Victoria. And I called her and I said, I'm having a breakdown. This is what's going on with me right now. I don't know. I've never faced this kind of issue before. What do I do? She said, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. Go back to church and this is that and the other. And I heard her and I went back to the service. And after service, the word was coming. It wasn't entering. Imagine you're in the water in the spirit word. The word was coming. It was not entering. Fear. All I could hear was the conversations. My phone was still going off. Emails were coming in, messages, everything. And what they kept threatening me with was, oh, it's not a small paper that's writing about you. It's a large paper. It's a huge paper. It's the Telegraph. They're writing a monster story about you. Da, 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 da. The Telegraph isn't the Croydon Insider. The Telegraph isn't the Daily Mail. It's a prominent paper, to be honest. I give them that. So they were like, their reputations, their businesses are at stake because of me. What do they do? How do they respond to this kind of controversy? And guys, I'm going to be honest. PT could have been talking. Jesus could have come that day. I couldn't hear anything that was going on. And the moment the service finished, and this time, like, obviously time builds relationship, but the relationship I have with my father now is of course way different to then. But he'd never told me off before. I've never been in trouble before. I've never been yelled at before. I remember straight off, imagine after the word, I'm walking with him with his protocol, canary wolf, everything, whatever. And I'm like, Dad, can I talk to you about something? Can I talk about? He goes, what is it, man? I was like, he was happy to have me with me. It was even cool. And I said, oh, and I started to explain to him, and I was crying. They're writing a story about me, da, 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 da. And I remember this like yesterday. He looked at me in the face and he started shouting. He said, stop crying. Whatever they do, whatever they say about you is to build you. It's going to make you. And that was the advice. And he walked away. And I think he cussed me as well. I can't remember the cussing, but he was not happy with me. And I was just like stunned. But those words have never left me. Those words have never left me. I didn't need a therapist. I didn't need a consultant. I didn't need a PR guru. I didn't need those words have never, ever left me. In the place I serve in right now, I've gone through so many things, money issues and so many things, and accused of so much stuff. And every single time these things happen to me, I remember it's supposed to make you. And I remember the last issue I had was actually a family issue. I had an issue in the family, and I remember sitting with my dad over breakfast and I was crying. I was like, I can't believe they're saying this about me. So it wasn't even outside, it was inside the house. I was like, my brothers and sisters are upset with me. How can they say this? I can't believe they're saying this about me. And I was crying. And he said, he was eating his breakfast. I think he just had eggs and something very small. And he put his knife and fork down and he looked at me. And he said, Mariam, they haven't started saying anything yet. You're going to have loads of lawsuits for millions and millions of pounds. But that's fine. I'm with you. I'm with you. Just know, for what you do, you're going to have a lot of heat. Nothing is happening to you right now. Nothing is going on. You're fine. Like, I can't even walk through a shopping centre anymore. I'll go to Westfield, people stop me. Oh, you're Mariam, right? And that's been happening to me since I had the shop in Westfields. I can't walk through like local areas anymore. Even if I'm in Selfridges, I can't walk through Selfridges at all. From sales assistants to people. Sometimes people stare, sometimes people take pictures, and I didn't really understand it. I found it really creepy. I find it really annoying because sometimes I'm just coming from the school run and my daughter wants to go and get some food and I just want to sit with my kid. and they'll be looking and they'll be like, oh my God, you know, like that's her. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I don't understand this. And in the early stages of my life, those are things I probably aspired for people to know me. But remember, people don't know me mainly for good. God is funny, right? You want fame, yeah? You want to be famous, yeah? You want people to know you. Fame is not like, oh, let me rephrase it. In our eyes, in our mind, fame, yeah, is Kim, or Beyoncé, or I don't know who you think is famous, or Jay, or Kanye, or whatever. When I go onto Beyonce's Instagram, and I do check it sometimes, and Kim's Instagram, I do check it sometimes. I have my reasons. The last comment would be, I hate you so much, you're so fat. And I'm thinking, this woman just signed a deal with Uber. She just doesn't know you. This morning when I woke up, or last night, I'm yet to respond to it. I know, Vanessa, you're online. We got a message from a bank, two banks actually, offering. One of the banks specifically said to me, Mariam, the kind of women you're raising are the kind of women I want employed in this bank. And we're doing a plan now just to recruit 20 of your girls. Another one is saying they want to recruit 30 of our girls. And they're saying that they're going to go through a mentoring program for a year with that bank and have them as junior bankers without qualification. I'm breaking change. I'm brokering change and life for people. That's my job. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. You can say, and the reality is, let me tell you something now. The more people go for me, the more opportunities are being brokered for other people. So I don't mind being the sacrificial lamb. You know, I couldn't believe I had a girl message me yesterday on Instagram. I just have to say this. She was half naked and she was quoting scripture. I said, Jesus, is this the priest? She was half naked, quoting scripture. It's not for likes. I'm not trying to get 1 million views on Instagram. People feel that if they create some noise on Twitter, on Instagram, it would create to likes. With all of the noise you're making on Twitter, you can't gather 30 people to listen to you speak. What a shambles. How does that make you feel? That I'm wondering, how does it make you feel that with all the noise you've collected on Instagram and YouTube, you cannot gather real people? But banks, I'm even yet to reply to say, yeah, let's do it. With all of the guys, for those of you listening to me, I'm Periscope, and you want questions, you want answers. I know you guys have been messaging me a lot on Instagram. You want answers, oh, but Mariam, why is it I can't be stopped? Why? I've been doing the same thing for 4 years since I've left prison. Why can't I be stopped? There is a young lady in my life. There is a young lady in my life that has decided that she doesn't want to do this journey with me anymore. It's been on my mind for about 3 months now that she's not gonna be able to fight anymore. And I've understood why. I've understood that I've been reading about Gideon's army, and I've been listening to the tape about Gideon's army. Gideon's army started with 32,000 men. Then God said to Gideon, bro, like, I can't use you with these many people. I can't use you with this many people, Gideon, because you would say that you did it. You would say that with the 32,000 men you have, you've taken this 15,000 people that have walked through the doors of the nation. Imagine those 15,000 people stayed. It would be easy for us to say, oh yeah, well, this is why we are the most impactful, powerful, God then said to Gideon, they're too many, cut them down, I can't use you. Then he cut them down to 10,000. God was like, no, my guy, there are still too many people. As I was reading that this morning, I was like, you're joking. Fear alone is such a massive thing that I now know why I had to go through everything I went through with prison, with this, with that, with whatever. First and foremost, guys, yeah, I've been on the road since I was about 14 years old. I'm not scared of Instagram people. I'm no longer on the road, but I have more boldness. Why? Because what I had to go through in my journey, many of you guys don't have to hide it to you. I've been to prison around the world. There's been times where I've not eaten for days, sometimes months. I've only eaten biscuit and water. It's not me that's gonna be like, oh my God, they've done. I don't care about that. I'm on an assignment. My assignment is to give people life. I don't want another young girl to go through. Some of you guys even think, but how did she go to prison so long? Let me give you guys the reality of the road. At 15 years old, you're being groomed to do fraud or sell drugs. Do you think grooming is only for those, if you think you watch Top Boy and you think that's just a side of London? There is another side of London that you guys don't know about. And I am surely going to write the Netflix series for it. It's an underworld grooming young girls like me at the time. I'm bunking school to do things for people. I'm missing having an education to do things for people. Let me tell you guys something. You see, I have an anger on the inside of me. My experience, every single person that sent me out, probably 80% of my prison sentences was done because of other people. Never once did I open my mouth and say, oh yeah, like they did it. I'm still friends with those people today. My loyalty levels are different. I'm just loyal. Look, my loyalty levels are so high that I'm ready to. Do you think I committed the crime that got me to have my daughter in prison? You think I committed that crime? Let me help you understand something. The fear I didn't have then is not the fear I'm about to have today. For the work of God, you don't understand this work of God because why? Scripture says that you are the light of the world. That I've just turned the light on in my community and they don't like what it looks like. The nation has just turned the light on and nobody likes what it looks like. What is a celebrity? A celebrity is a man or a woman who turns the light on in an environment that is brand new to others. Kanye is doing a madness because he's turned the light on. Whoever you think is a celebrity, think about when they started, they were disrupting a movement, disrupting a reality TV, a world where we never saw people, apart from maybe Big Brother, we didn't see people and their family argue or fight. So when the Kardashians turn a light on, you call them a celebrity. I now understand why God caused for me to go through so many different things in the early parts of my life because he was allowing me to not have fear, to turn the light on in my borough, to turn the light on in London. I've been mobilizing wrongly. I've been leading wrongly with aggression, with no, it's a spirit thing. You're either called or you're not. You're either called or you are not. So I now understand the why. I can't even talk about finances right now, but I understand why things are how they are. God is sustaining us because he's saying, look, I don't want you to be able. Many people, have you ever heard the word people say, I'm self-made? No. Most celebrities can boast of being self-made. In fact, they boast of leaving their label and creating their own thing because they cannot be under somebody. They cannot be under an authority. Oh, they're taking too much money from me. They're doing this. Yeah, but who made you? Who made us hear your voice? Who made us learn about who you are? I don't want to be self-made. Page 3 girls were half-naked women who used to be on the front of newspapers and they would be paid thousands of pounds. It was the aspiration of many girls to make it as a front cover Page 3 girl. Imagine, just like Instagram, it's nothing new. As you pick up your phone and you see a naked woman on Instagram. You know, Instagram didn't start like that. But what was happening was that the paper series had to die for Instagram to erupt. I'm coming somewhere. Page 3 was a thing at first. And it made celebrities that were birthed out of Towie girls and all of these things. They started off as that. That's what they wanted to be first. That was their desire. Why are you calling my phone, bro? Do I know you? That series had to die. Why is this person calling me right now? What are you talking about? Sorry, guys. Let me just actually respond to this. This person is insane. Bear with me, guys. 1 second. I'm coming. Let me tell you something, guys. The Lord is using a light to light up priests. I have never, guys, I cannot walk through a shopping center anymore. It may seem small, but why do you think the Lord is reducing our numbers? Because I was saying the other day that there is a 10%. There's a small 10% margin of us that are actually called for this thing. Do you know the levels? By the time a celebrity wakes up, in the morning, they have lawsuits on their doorsteps every day. Financial cases. I have not started anything until I'm seeing that kind of work on my table in the morning. I have not started a work until I've started to see those kind of problems. My problem is not addressing somebody that is in my community. I think that's my eyelash lady. So right now it looks very strange. It doesn't make sense. Why? How is she a pastor? Somebody messaged me, just say you're a businesswoman. Yeah, I am. But I have the word. But it looks strange. So like, guys, I'm telling you, I have never ever been so in. I wake up now to about 150 DMs on Instagram. Like, it's madness. It's madness. I'm just like, bro, I don't mind playing the role for you guys. You guys have to pay me for this. I don't have time to reply. What am I saying? The world is looking for leaders. They just don't like what we look like because we look like them. Guys, I've been saying this to you guys from the beginning of the scope. I've been doing what I've been doing now for the last 4 years. Ever wondered why this woman is not stopping? Is she mentally deranged? What is wrong with her? Why won't she stop? Why is it she's still able to fill rooms of women in hotels that you cannot spell? Why? How? Why are banks still? I'm telling you guys, I woke up this morning with 2 emails from banks begging me to bring people in as junior brokers. Hear me, it is not illegal from a human resource, from a HR perspective, for you to promote a role externally without advertising it. Not even training, it's not legal. So why is it that they're saying, Mariam, we want your kind to work for us? Why is it they're saying, well, we want to make this exclusive to the brand you have built? I'm not raising myself. I don't post on Instagram every day. I post when I've got time. I've looked at the views of those that have watched this and I'm like, how did this one watch this? How are celebrities sitting down? And I'm watching my whole Periscope. They're not watching one, they're watching 6 or 7. They're watching a series called Mariam Mola on Periscope. So I've taken you off Netflix. Have I spoken about giving? I will speak about giving. What is you having? Oh, Mariam, what's your take on giving? What's your take on giving? You speak about give. Go and read your Bible. Just read Matthew, bro. What's wrong with you? Why are you mad at me? I will never stop talking about giving. Everything that I am today is because I gave my way. Everything you see me to be now. Look, let me tell you something. I will never take advice. Many of you guys have become my advisors. Since I've been sitting here, you guys don't understand. I'm suffering with advisors. They said Solomon had many advisors. People are messaging me what to say on Instagram. No, guy. You didn't get me here. The word got me here. My seed got me here. I will never stop telling people to give. Because young people are trapped. You have an opinion on my take on giving. But you still live in the London borough of what? A rat-infested area. I made up my mind that, look, let me tell you something now. I took the young girls that live with me now. I took them on a journey last week. I took them to my local community. And I said, this is where I lived. you may see some rats running around. Let me tell you something now. I wore an AP living in that house. The ends. Oh my God. I had 5 Chanel bags in different colors. A Birkin. Living here, my handbag was more than what my mum's monthly rent was. Nobody from the ends. I've got people from the ends messaging me. Oh, look what video. You're still struggling. You're still ducking and diving. The girls that are there messaging me about how my life should be, their aspiration is to be the F guy. Your whole entire aspiration is to be married to a guy that is a roadman. That is your dream. I want to marry a guy that's got bread and a nice car that he doesn't own, that he can't put in his name, in a house that he cannot put in his name. I broke myself out of that. Not going back there. What got me there, what got me out of that is giving. And that same giving is what has caused you to constantly be on this. I have not called you guys to watch my Periscope. I've been doing this Periscope for 3 years. I'm telling you that it started, P Crystal is my witness. 5 people used to watch this. 5 people. It then moved on to 50 people. Without effort, easily, I'm hitting 1,500 views, 1,200 views. When you come off this Periscope, there may be 600 people. Come back and watch it again, you'll see 1,200 people. I haven't called, and those people are not in-house. It's the world watching and wondering what kind of light. I've got 10 more minutes. What kind of light is this? But I want you guys to go and look at something online. It's called, thank you, in fact, I've got a lot of time for this. thegivingpledge.org. It's a commitment to philanthropy. Thank you, Pastor Arthur, for this. Where wealthy individuals give. The Giving Pledge. Warren Buffett's in there. Melinda Gates are there. I began to say to some people this week here, and I'm going to close on this because I've got a call in 10 minutes. I've seen world leaders. And who do I think is a world leader? A great. When I see, look, I don't know if you guys have seen a documentary called 4 by Beyoncé. I don't really listen to her music like that. I'm not a fan, but I see craft. I see a sower. Hear me. In the video, she was doing her dance moves of Who Won the World. In my eyes, I'm not in her world. You're not in my world, so you can't see it in my eyes. She was like, this isn't right. So what did she do? She sowed a seed and sent young men from Africa to come to America to train her and her team. After the seed was sown, she was then able to perform at that level of excellence. No matter what industry you are in, if you are an accountant and go forward, you have to go and take another exam that will cost you money, seed. If you're a lawyer, you have to go and pay extra exams. Forget even extra exams, university. You have to sow a seed in their ground for them to teach you how to become like them. I will sow into the ground of whatever I want to become. And nothing in this world will stop me from telling young women, young people, to not give to what makes them. If I'm now the resource, I am now human resources for 2 global banks. Want to know, where are you making these women, Mariam? Is there a factory you're making them? Can you bring them to us? Seed. I will never ever, look, let me tell you something now, guys. I don't want my daughter to be raised in a rat infested community full of lions that are aspiring to date guys that bang F and bang. Most of you guys that are watching this stuff, you do that. Those that are messaging me, that's what you do. Don't want my child to go to school with your people. Hear me, I don't care how that sounds. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sow my way out of here. Where I'm living right now, do you think I put me here? My father put me here. I don't have to worry about the things you worry about. I don't have to worry about them. All I have to worry about is raising women that are not thinking about how long their hair has to be, what club they have to go to. No, guys, there is a higher call. There is a higher call. You guys don't understand. It seems crazy. When the period of 3G girls, page 3 girls died, it wasn't even like there was an announcement. They just died off. Instagram girls are dying. People are now coming on Periscope to listen to pastors give the word. What are you talking about? Instagram girls are dying, and the world is now looking for pastors and priests to climb on a mountain and give the word. Pastors. are doing documentaries on MTV, the BBC, BBC One Extra. That doesn't make sense. How does it make sense? You cannot pay for this kind of space. Primetime TV, ITV, Lorraine. It don't make sense. I will never stop doing what I'm doing. The only thing I can ask you to do is keep watching the show. I'm watching as you're watching. I'm excited as you're excited. I'm for everything. I'm for. Please get my YouTube videos to 1 million views. Get my periscopes. Get my whatever. Be watching. I'm watching as you're watching. I'm waiting for the Netflix to come. I'm excited. I'm elated.
So you guys heard everything that Mariam had to say. She mentioned she wanted to give up on Periscope, but she decided to stay basically because of the fame and the views. Because when she started, she only had 5 to 10 people watching her, but now she has a lot of members watching her. She said it's because she's very transparent, talks about money, mobilization, her 2 favorite things. She also admitted everything written or said about her online is true. She said on her way to jail while she was pregnant, she wasn't sad because she does not know what the meaning of sad is. She also downplays what the Telegraph wrote about her. She admits what they wrote about her was true, but she said that they're not as big as most people think they are. She also picked up the Croydon Insider, saying that they're bigger and more credible than the Telegraph. But this is the same people that wrote about Spac being under investigation. Croydon Insider is the same people that Pastor Toby said were lying. But she's on here saying that they're basically a big and a credible news outlet. She mentioned when all the news about her was exposed, she didn't know what to do. She was panicking, but PT told her whatever is going on is to build her. She mentioned those 2 lines changed her and made her who she is today. She says that she's so famous that she can't walk through shopping centres no more. She can't go to Selfridges because people stop her and ask for pictures, which is a lie. This is a girl who's showing signs of going crazy. Nobody knows Mariam apart from online for all the wrong things that she's done. I don't believe people would want to stop and take pictures of her. She also mentioned that hate comments written about her are the same things that happened to Kim Kardashian and Beyoncé. She mentioned at the top you will see good comments and at the bottom you will see bad comments, which is the same thing she gets, which is normal because she sees herself as a celebrity. She mentioned 2 banks contacted her and wanted to employ her girls. She said one of the banks wanted to employ 20 of her girls, the other 30 of her girls, which means she's running something with a lot of young girls. She has a lot of young girls that live with her. So to me it sounds like she's selling girls, which sounds a bit weird. And why would 2 banks randomly email her? How did the banks know how her girls operate? Which is quite weird. She mentioned that her girls had no qualifications, but the bank was so fascinated by Mariam and how she carries herself that they want girls similar to her working for them. This is a lie because Mariam is known for being a top fraudster and a woman who was arrested more than 27 times. So it's a lie that these banks have even contacted her. She probably emailed herself these things. She also said there's a young girl who is involved with her that decided to stop walking with Mariam. So Mariam tried to use the Bible to justify people leaving her or leaving Spac Nation. She tried to talk about Gideon's army in the Bible. She's basically trying to reference that God wanted these people to leave her. She's comparing by saying because Gideon's army was reduced to a small amount of people compared to what he had at the start, she's believing it's the same thing that's going on with her. But where she's failing to understand is people are leaving her because she's abusing and using these people. She's destroying lives and extorting and taking everything they have. This is why they're leaving her. So this has nothing to do with God. God is using these people to leave her because she's doing wrong things to them. She says she's been on the road since she was 14. She also admitted to going in prison all around the world, so she isn't scared of anything or anyone. She said something quite important. She said she's being groomed from the age of 15 to sell drugs for people, and that she spent 80% of her prison sentences was because it was crime committed by other people, but she'd never snitch. But she also said she never snitched because she's loyal. Until today, she's still friends with these criminals who caused her to go jail. And this is a woman who said she's changed her life. So she's admitting that these people groomed her from young to do the wrong things, but she's still friends with them today. What does that tell you about Mariam? She's still a crook. She's still in that circle. For someone who's been groomed from a young age, and who's supposed to be a pastor now, she would understand. But no, she's using the same techniques used on her to use on the other people. She's grooming young girls to do things. It may not be to sell drugs, but it's still to do the wrong things, just for her profit, just for her gain. She's saying that she's writing a script about the grooming for Netflix, and she's hoping that Netflix will give her a deal. She calls herself a celebrity and compares herself to Kanye West because she said both things they have in common is they both bring light to the community, meaning that they're both known. That's all she's basically saying. When she says bring lights, Kanye brings lights because he's a musician, but she brings lights because she's a fraudster. So I don't know why she's comparing herself to Kanye West. She openly admits that the numbers at Spac Nation have decreased, and she's also using God by saying God only mentioned 10% will be able to ride and stay down for Spac Nation. So she's believing the numbers are reducing because originally there was only meant to be a small amount of people, which doesn't make sense because she's always talking about mobilizing to try and bring more people. So there she contradicts herself. She said something quite scary. She mentioned celebrities have a lot of lawsuits. So she's not going to settle until she has the same. She wants those lawsuits because that makes her known. That gives her more power. She believes that her having lawsuits shows that she's an important person, which is crazy to think about. She says that she fills out a room with women in hotels that we cannot spell. But she's not telling us why she's filling out these rooms. Because it's definitely not for the word of God she's filling out these rooms. She also says her views are on par with other celebrities. That people are stopping themselves from watching Netflix so they can watch things about Mariam Mola. This girl does not understand. People are curious to know what's going on because people want Spac Nation to be exposed and people want her criminal lifestyle to stop. People want her to release these young people she's contaminating. So she's not understanding that the only reason we are watching is because we want her to stop what she's doing. We're not doing it to help her have more confidence, and we're not saying positive things about what she's doing. So I don't know why she's mentioning these things. She mentioned she will never stop giving, or she will never stop talking about giving. She doesn't care. And she mentioned the people who judge her live in rat infested areas. So basically everyone who has anything bad to say about her lives in a poor community where there's rats. This is what she's saying. This is a pastor who's defending herself using those words. Even when people are trying to give her wisdom, people are trying to make her understand what you're doing is wrong, her response to that is, you live in an area that's disgusting. She said even when she lived in a nasty area, she was already wearing AP watches and she had a lot of Chanel handbags. She said her bags was enough to even cover her mum's rent. She's basically bragging about the fact that even when she was living in a poor area, she's always had money. This is what she's basically trying to say. She says girls who message her to talk about her life have aspirations in a life of dating roadmans and fraudsters. She mentioned she doesn't want a child to go to school with people like that. So everyone again who's commenting and talking about Mariam, this is what she has to say about. This is crazy. This is her response. So girls who comment or message Mariam, she's saying you only want to date fraudsters and people who have no aspirations in their lives. She said giving got her out of the mess that she was living before. She also mentioned Pastor Toby took her out of poverty. So this is the reason why she'll never stop talking about giving, because she said seed got her out of everything she was doing before. She also said that billionaires have a giving pledge, which Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and his wife are part of. She believes this is what's making them become successful, which is absolutely nonsense. Because Bill Gates and Warren Buffett own companies. They make money. So if they give money to charity, it's not the same thing. Spac Nation are using young people who don't have jobs young people who are studying and they're taking their money. They're using these young people to give them money. So this is different. It should be Spac Nation giving money to people that need help. It shouldn't be people who need their help to be giving money to Spac Nation. So this argument that she's talking about is totally nonsense. This woman does not know when to stop. But you can see, guys, the pressure is getting to her. She has to justify everything that she's doing. And now we have them scared to do periscopes. They're trying to do their periscope more private. So whatever is out there, I will continue to expose so that people can see. They've been doing this for years and years.